John Herman was a World War II vet who got one of the Minidoka homesteads that was offered to veterans. He got his homestead in 1950, and he was supposed to proof up by within 5 years. To proof up a homestead, you have to get crops growing, you have to get a house built, you have to prove you're going to develop that land and turn it into farmland. But he had a problem. John Herman got recalled by the Army to go serve in the Korean War. The Soil Conservation Corps offered him and his family a deal. They wanted to do a farm in a day demonstration to bring out the latest equipment, the latest techniques, and do a community project, show communities how to farm the land of the Idaho high desert best. So on 17 April 1952, they sent a crew of 1,500 community volunteers to build an entire farm in one day. 11,000 spectators showed up. The high schools emptied, businesses closed down. There were hot dogs, there were vendors, there were beauty queens. It was a big event. And between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m., the entirety of John Herman's property was leveled, trees were planted, crops were planted, a drainage pond was built. John Herman and his family had a house constructed with plumbing and everything they needed. They were set. Within a day, they had a farm. This was something the Soil Conservation Corps was doing around the nation in an attempt to get prosperous farmlands going. But the project at Minidoka was one of the biggest and one of the most successful. In fact, CBS reporter Robert Trout was there. Robert Trout was a big deal. Robert Trout was one of the most prominent World War II reporters. On D-Day, he stayed on the air for 7 hours and I think 15 minutes nonstop reporting on the action. So in 1952, if Robert Trout was on the air, every American was listening to hear what Robert Trout had to say. And he was at Minidoka talking about farm in the day. It was a very huge deal and got a lot of publicity. And it saved the Herman family farm. If you didn't proof up in 5 years, you were done. You had to give it back.